We're ready to believe you! Hey, breast engineers, this is Ben.
This is David.
And this is Ben's favorite things. So, this week I wanted to talk about one of the things that meant a lot to me growing up. And it's spawned a couple of movies and a bunch of toys. And there's a new movie coming out this weekend. But anyway, it's Ghostbusters.
All right. I can dig Ghostbusters.
Cool.
Now what?
Who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters means a lot to me. It's been around ever since I was born, basically, and we had it on VHS, recorded off TV.
Hell yeah.
And pop it into the VHS player and watch it every once in a while because, you know, as a kid, it was funny, it was entertaining. As a teenager, it was still funny and entertaining. And as an adult, it's
still funny and
entertaining. It's one of those that you can really consider a timeless movie.
Yeah, I totally agree. I remember the first time that I saw it, went over to a friend's house, and they're just like, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what are you watching? They're like, Ghostbusters. Have you never seen this? I was like, no, I've never seen it. And it's become, one of my favorite movies just almost immediately. And my little brother and I got into it, got the Ghostbuster backpack, and, got all the little toys that came with, and I just remember just being totally enthralled in the whole Ghostbusters just theme.
Yeah, we my parents got us the toys. We had the backpacks, the trap, the action figures.
Oh, yeah.
And in the course of moving from one place to the next, one action figure went missing, and I knew exactly which one it was. It was a football player that would bend over into a hike position, but then his back would open up into a monster like Jaws of Death kind of thing.
I remember that one.
And it went missing, and I knew that I needed to have this action figure back. And this was before the days of eBay and anything like that. This was when I was like 12, 13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The internet was still kind of a new thing, and went to a flea market, and there was somebody there who had just a bunch of random toys, and in a dollar bin was that action figure.
Oh my God.
I was so excited to find this one action figure. I walked up to the guy and I was like, yeah, this is like in a dollar bin, so like, here it is. And he takes it from me, and I tried to play it so cool, but I have a terrible poker face. And he's like, oh, well, that one's really special. So this one is like $15.
Oh, come on, man!
Like it was something ridiculous, but I saw that they had like Sega games and stuff, and I'm like, well, I have some Sega games. Could I like trade you for the difference?
Good call.
And so I ended up trading like probably half a dozen games and stuff to get one action figure because the guy decided to swindle a 12-year-old because he knew that he really wanted that action figure.
I hope you're watching. I hope you feel horrible. Swindle a 12-year-old. Get out of town. Anyway.
And this is coming from a pawn shop broker.
Yeah, I'm a pawnbroker, by the way. When a kid comes up to me and is really excited, and they're just like, I want this game. It starts handing me money. I was like, dude, no, that's not how you come about it. You're supposed to say, how much will you take for this? And I try to get them into that whole thing of how to barter and how to get a deal. I don't say, oh, that one's really special. That's twice as much as you got, kid. No, that's dirty. That's dirty pool, man. Mm-mm.
Well, it was a flea market, so, they want to get as much as they can out of people, I guess.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. But that was my adventure in Ghostbusters toy collecting when I was a 12-year-old. Now it all sits in a nice box put away, and we have the ghost house, we have the firehouse.
Yeah.
We have the firehouse, and I still have the 2 packs and everything. The foam is all degraded.
Oh, of course.
But
yeah.
But I have everything still, and it's really cool. It was one of the first movies that really got, me as a kid immersed into what was going on. Like, you had costume things that you could buy at the toy store, and you could be a Ghostbuster because they were just regular guys.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a superhero or anything, where you're trying to jump off the roof and fly. It was like, no, I'm going to run around and point my gun at imaginary things and catch ghosts.
Well, yeah, and it's one of those things too where it's just like the nerds show you how to save the day because they're the ones that how to fix all the ghost problems and how to get the bad guys to go away. And also Bill Murray is Venkman. It's just his mouth was one of the things where I just love the tongue in cheek stuff that I learned that early on, and my parents are very grateful. Bill Murray, thank you. So yeah, I just the humor, the special effects still today still wow me when I watch it on Blu-ray and everything. And so and as on VHS as a kid, you couldn't get anything better at the time.
So out of all 4 Ghostbusters, you think that you relate to Venkman the most? Are you Peter Venkman?
In my head, I'm Venkman. In reality, I'm probably more like Ray.
I'm Egon. I collect mold, spores, and fungus. Not really.
The PKE that was the one thing that always was the most mesmerizing of all the gadgets that they had, because as he's going down, and I just love the thing where he wands the guy in the hallway. It's just like I never understood. Making sure he's corporeal, just in case. But it's just like that was the one thing, and just to find out that that's a real thing. I had no idea when I was in college, and I found out that's a real thing. I was blown away. That amazes me that they had that stuff, and they were bringing it into the light of to show you that some of the stuff actually does exist. It's the sort of thing somebody could make a proton backpack someday. That's just amazing, and that I really hope I get one when they come around.
The opening scene with the library, what was that experience like, seeing that opening scene up to the point where Ray says, "Get her!"
To see this woman just kind of floating there without feet, I didn't understand really, and so this was kind of my introduction into what ghosts really were, besides Casper and other cartoons and stuff. And so to see that this transparent figure, that really was really what got me really interested in the movie. And then, but when they say "get her" and her face did that, when I was a kid, I think I peed a little.
Oddly enough, Ghostbusters is one of the movies where, as a kid, I didn't need to turn away or hide my eyes, even though the ghosts were like all ah.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there going, "Oh, this is cool," because I know what happens next. I watched it so early in life that I don't remember my first experience in watching it. I just watch it now, and I watch with great anticipation at ready, okay. Get her!
It's like, what do you think they would have done?
Get her!
Yeah, they actually were able to grab onto her. I mean,
Venkman put it best, like, get her!
Get her?
Kind of a, what were you expecting to happen?
Get her! Like they were all going to just like huddle her down and wrestle her to the ground and hog tie her or something. Like, yeah, really, what was the plan there? They were obviously, she's just a floating little mist, man. How are you going to grab that? That doesn't make sense. And that's why I'm more like Ray, because I do stuff that don't make sense.
And now it's time for our list of most memorable ghosts from Ghostbusters 1984.
Cool.
Number 1, the Gray Lady. The librarian has to be the most classic of all the ghosts. It's the first one you see. It's not only the first one you see in the movie, but then the Gray Lady is reused in the video game.
Mm-hmm.
And in the upcoming movie, there is a Gray Lady who is a librarian, even though in the new movie she's blue, but I still consider it the Gray Lady.
Yeah. Well, it's based on an actual Gray Lady of the librarians. Yeah. Anyway.
Number 2.
Number 2 is the lady that visits Ray in the night and undoes his zipper. The I guess the succubus ghost. We'll go with that.
You just call her the BJ Ghost.
The BJ Ghost. Because who wouldn't?
Did you know that Ray's crotch in that scene is a dummy?
Yes.
You did know that?
I did know it.
Did you know how much money and time they spent to make that dummy?
That I don't know.
Apparently it took them months to get it just right so that it would look like a real crotch in tidy whities.
Without...
For the filming.
Yeah, because I can just imagine the outline of a unit wouldn't go over well for getting that rating.
Now, as a kid, did you actually get that reference?
No.
See, I didn't either. I was just like, why is she taking his pants off?
Yeah, I had that explained a couple years later when I was watching it with a friend. I was like, oh.
Because the next thing you see is just him kind of rolling over and falling out of bed. And
yeah,
you're
he
like,
starts kicking his legs and somebody rolls over, and it was like, I thought that, you know, it was just some kind of weird dream he was having to tell him he had to get out of bed to go pee or something. Number 3.
Number 3, the first appearance of Slimer. Everybody loves Slimer, but I think everybody loves Slimer because of the cartoon.
Yeah, I do too.
And that's when he really became a character. In the Ghostbusters movie, he was definitely one of the more, one of the sillier, funny ghosts because he, stuff his face and it would just fall through. And so he was the avatar of greed and gluttony.
Gluttony, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you get the appearance of Slimer, and it was their first big job.
Mm-hmm.
And they destroy the crap out of the place just trying to catch Slimer.
Right.
Who slimes Venkman.
He slimed me. That's great! Actual physical contact!
Number 4. I don't know. He's got to be a ghost, but for some reason, I see it as a zombie. It was the corpse cab driver. That one was the most scary to me because he was the most like physical and just like he could have got me. I don't think they could have got him in the trap. So he scared me a little more than Gozer did, honestly.
Yeah, and that was just like some kind of weird orange like spirit energy that like got sucked up into the exhaust pipe of a cab, and then you come around to the front of the cab and there's a fucking zombie right there.
Yeah. It was just like it didn't seem like it possessed somebody. It seemed like it actually like rotted somebody.
I would hate to be the guy in the back of that cab.
Oh my god.
I'd be in and like ghosts running around and stuff. Okay, that's freaky enough. But then I'm getting drove around by a zombie. No, I'm out.
Mm-mm.
I'm done. If there's ghosts and zombies, it's just game over, man. Game over. No, and not dealing with that one.
And if that was a regular cab driver, I'm sorry for offending you, but you need a lot of facial cream or something. I don't know.
The ghost that comes up out of the sidewalk right after the explosion, and he looks like a big banshee thing with these long arms, and the puppeteers like shake him back and forth, and he starts chasing people and laughing maniacally. He just pops up and just goes, like as a kid, that's a jump scare. That's just like whoa.
Yeah.
And you don't forget that ghost.
Yeah, honestly, the rest of them, I'd kind of freeze, but with that one, I would just turn and run. That definitely that'd freak me out in real life.
The gatekeeper and keymaster. At first, you might think those aren't really ghosts per se. But Dana and Mr. Tully's character were possessed by the gatekeeper and the keymaster before they became the monster dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
So there was a monster dog, and then it possessed them, and then they became the monster dogs again. So at one point, they were possessed by the spirit of the dog, right?
You got to wonder if that was really their true form too. I think that was just another form that they could take on. But anyway,
maybe.
I digress.
Maybe.
Yes, I think that they exist in a spiritual plane for the most part, and so they can choose different forms for.
Right. And when they attack Dana, all these arms are coming out everywhere, like feeling her up, and like grabbing on her, and then dragging her, to the dog. So that that's very paranormal.
Yeah. And frightening.
Mr. Tully was just basically chased by the dog until he had nowhere else to run.
I got a milk bone.
Nice Poochie.
I couldn't figure out for the longest time when he's sliding. He's sliding down, and you hear the glass going. I didn't understand if that was the dog or if that was actually him. And so for a long time, I had a debate with myself on what that really was. But now, obviously, I know it's him sliding on the glass. But that was the chasing was intense, but him actually being taken, not as intense.
No.
Since we went with the gatekeeper and the keymaster can go in this, then I'm going to say the Destructor, which took on the form of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and coming to destroy the city.
Because technically, the Destructor was non-corporeal.
Yeah.
Until the form was chosen. And then Gozer put the juice in it to make it corporeal and destroy the world.
And gave it form. And so, yeah, I definitely see. And honestly, when you think of Ghostbusters, what's one of the main things you think? You think of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So you can't go with a Ghostbuster list and not go, hey, here's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. So there you go. Number 10's got to be that one.
So did the Destructor like possess a whole bunch of marshmallows from like a marshmallow factory, or did Gozer just manifest marshmallow fluff? Because when they blew him up, it was marshmallow.
I'm gonna say since Gozer had god like status, he could just manifest the marshmallows, because that's easier to explain.
Marshmallows manifested from another dimension.
That's right. Well, from our dimension.
Did you know that the scene where the EPA guy gets bombarded by marshmallow fluff, he didn't know that was going to happen?
Nuh-uh. I did not know that. I literally did not know that.
And in the movie, it's shaving cream.
Okay.
It's not marshmallow fluff. It's shaving cream because it's easier to clean up.
Right.
But they had gallons upon gallons of the shaving cream. And all they told him was, here's your mark. Just stand right here.
Ignore the big bucket.
Well, that's why he looked up. Because they rolled the cameras, and you see him look up and look at...
Okay, drop the bucket!
Pause it and look at his face when he looks up and sees this coming down on him. And when it comes down and he's looking at his hands just in complete and utter shock, like he doesn't know what to say. And so they just dub him over going, ah ha ha ha, because in real life he had no idea that was going to happen. They wanted a genuine reaction from him. So they didn't tell him that he was going to get dumped on.
Directors can be dicks.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, I think of that, and I also think of Alan Rickman and Die Hard, when they're like, okay, we're going to drop you on 3. 1, 2. So that's par for the course. But I mean, it'll get you a legitimate reaction. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Part of me wonders, did Dana always have that orange dress just kind of hanging around? and
I thought it was red.
Was it red?
I'm pretty sure it's red.
Red orange. I don't know.
It was sequins, so light catches it differently.
This is true, and it's like, what was that for? What event was she going to wear that to? Because that's not something I really would have seen her wearing at all. With her demeanor and her personality, that didn't seem like something that she would wear. And
I have a fan theory.
Okay.
That one of the Ghostbusters had to be former military. Or they have a really, really awesome military surplus to get those flight suits. Because they weren't coverall jumpsuits like janitors wear. Those are legit flight suits. And the boots that they're wearing are jungle combat boots.
I'm going to say it was...
Or no, they're not. I'm sorry. No, the boots that they're wearing are paratrooper boots. Like, very specifically paratrooper. And the frames that their proton packs are mounted on are called Alice Pack frames, which is a specifically military frame for backpacks.
Not know that.
Yeah, a lot of the gear that they're wearing is military. The goggles that Ray modified to see, ectoplasm, are military goggles.
Yeah.
that were modified.
I'm going to say it was Egon, because with his experimentations and whatnot, they had talked briefly about. Something about drilling into his skull. And those kinds of things. I'm thinking he probably had a background somewhere where he did experiments for the military.
And it would have worked, too, if you hadn't have stopped me.
That's right.
Yeah, Egon had that mysterious past going on. Like, Ray, you're just like, yep, he's just a plain nerd. He's got his nose in the books and is just like super, super fanboy over his stuff. And then Venkman is too slick.
Yeah.
To have been in the military. And then, Ernie Hudson's character came too late in the game to really...
He couldn't have designed anything or helped. Yeah.
Yeah.
They already had it.
And he was just the average Joe that was looking for another job. So it's got to be Egon.
Yeah.
Egon had to have seen some shit. And,
Definitely.
And got them some military gear. Because he was also the one that was building all the stuff, too.
Yeah, he was.
Right?
Yeah.
So he had to have handpicked a lot of the equipment to put together.
So yeah, he had to know where to get it and how to get it, and he had to have had contacts in order to get him some of that stuff that fell off the truck.
Do you have any fan theories about Ghostbusters? Let us know in the comments. because we would be excited to read any fan theory you have.
Yeah. Oh, come on. No, but we do want feedback, please. If you guys have any comments or if you want to continue on with the discussion, please feel free to comment, subscribe, come see us again.
I also have a theory. Ray is the most creative thinker of the whole group.
I like that theory.
In the first movie, it was what he was thinking about that Gozer latched onto and decided, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. You know, all the other guys were able to empty their heads except for Ray. And then in Ghostbusters 2, just real quick, Ray is chosen by Vigo to be the vessel.
Yeah.
Right? In both movies, Ray seems to be sort of the lightning rod for stuff that happens.
He can't turn off his brain, you know? It's always going.
When somebody asks if you're God,
you say
yes! Ivo Shandor.
Thank you.
Ivo Shandor, yes.
Cold riveted girders with cores of pure selenium.
You're just like, okay, so he knew how to do all this and he built one building? I don't believe that.
He sounds so much more important than that, right?
Right.
So if you've never played the game, you should go pick it up for Xbox 360, PS3, or the Wii, because it goes into so much more about Ivo Shandor. And, you know, at the beginning of the game, it looks like a possible return of Gozer, but then you find out that it's actually an Ivo Shandor, like, something or other, and that, you know, it's so much bigger than it was in the first movie, and you get all the original guys doing the voices, and it's so immersive. It's a fantastic continuation. It's what you would expect a sequel to have been.
Well, from what I understand,
we'll save the sequel talk for next time when we can talk about Ghostbusters 2 and the reboot.
Real quick though, from what I understand, that was what they had intended for the script of Ghostbusters 3, but then they were just getting too far along. They're just like, we can't pull off another Ghostbusters. Like that's what I've heard. I haven't done any research to prove it's true.
There is so much to the story of Ghostbusters 3 where it was on again and off again, and Ivan Reitman, you know, being involved with most of that. He's written quite a bit about it, and we could do an entire segment on the what ifs of Ghostbusters 3, and I'm sure there are other people out there that have done it pretty extensively.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, go play the game.
Yeah, go play the game. Tell us your fan theories, and would you want to see us do a Ghostbusters fan film? Let us know in the comments below, because if you guys want to see it, we'll do it. We consider ourselves to be the extreme Ghostbusters, or a variation thereof. Not based on the cartoon, but just that we have black uniforms and we like to look a little more punk, you know. And
we're the discount Ghostbusters.
We're the discount Ghostbusters. But, you know, we could develop it into a short film or something more. But you guys have to tell us. You need to tell us what it is that you want us to do, what you're going to find entertaining. Or
even something Ghostbuster-like. You know, if you want to throw an idea out there, we love hearing from you guys. So please, give us some feedback.
Thanks for watching, and keep those gears turning. See you next time.
See ya. Are you a god?
No.
No.
Then die!